Hey everyone, Gallifrey Forever 97 here. Welcome to today's mega review of all the 2021 August/September releases. This was originally meant to be out mid-August, but they've just hit UK stores early September. So we've got 4 new sets to look over. We've got the Keys and Marinus set featuring 2 Vord and Ian Chesterton. The Sensorites set with the first Doctor and 2 Sensorites. And 2 History Dalek sets. We've got number 5, which is Power of the Daleks. And we've also got number 7, which is Day of the Daleks. The reason they've skipped out on either of the Daleks is so that next time they release the next History Dalek sets, we'll have another 60s and another 70s shelf, just to kind of make sure we don't have all 60s Daleks in one place. Gives us a bit of variety on the shelves. Let me know in the comment section below if you've been able to pick up your sets yet. I had a little mini adventure going around my local area. These weren't too bad to get, to be honest, fortunately for me. So I'm going to go in story order, so I'll be reviewing the Keys and Marinus first, then the Sensorites sets, and then the 2 History of the Dalek sets. So I'm looking at the 3-pack packaging together, as the only difference really is the content. So we've got the 3 figures displayed in the box. So we've got Ian Chesterton in the middle, 2 Vords on the side. And then for Sensorites set, we've got the first Doctor in the middle, and then the normal Sensorite and the Elder Sensorite on the right. In the bottom left-hand corner, we've got what the story is. So it's either the Keys and Marinus or the Sensorite sets. Turn switch year, collector figure set. We've got the gold emblem logo. In the bottom right corner, we've got the red banner, telling us what kind of product line this is from. The character options Doctor Who figure line. 5+, the character options logo. On the side, you've got the Doctor Who logo, the Jodie Whittaker one, with a graphic of the TARDIS. On the top, we've got the Doctor Who logo, a little 3D image of the TARDIS, some Time Lord graphics going around, the character online website, and a circle at the top left telling us what is featured in the set. Which is great when you're actually in the B&M store and you're looking to see the kind of rows behind. Left hand side, Doctor Who logo, picture of the TARDIS, and again telling us what set it is. On the right, got a circle again telling us what's included in the set, which figures. At the bottom, some information and more about copyright stuff. Had to tuck away the contents of the set and also the barcode, which is nice to put this all on the bottom, which allows the back of the packaging to be exclusive about the content and not the kind of legal copyright stuff. On the back, same information, Doctor Who logo, TARDIS, tells us what the set is and what's included. Bottom right, we've got the copyright information about the sort of licensing stuff. Again, the red banner telling us part of the 5.5 inch range. And we have 3 images of the products that are included of each figure. Very nice promotion images, which characters which. And also the first time on these 3 packs, we've got a description of the story. So feel free to pause it when it's on screen. It's a really cool addition to these. The back of the package is quite bare with just the promotion images of the figures, so it's nice to have the description for these sets now. And when you get the figures out of the box, they both have exclusive image cards which are exclusive to the stories. For the Keys and Marinus, got this temple, little stone, this really cool statue. Yes, it's a really cool little setting. And for Sensorites, we've got the inside of the spaceship, we've got computers and dials, and also the massive circular window, which is a nice homage to the cliffhanger for episode 1, where they see the Sensorite kind of peering through the window from space. They also work as a great display piece. If you want to display these figures with them, they fit really well. Starting with the Keys of Marinus set, so we've got Ian Chesterton and Vord 1 and 2. Start off with Ian Chesterton and then review the Vords together after Ian, as they are pretty similar. There's a few differences which I will go through. So first of all, let's get the articulation out of the way for Ian Chesterton. Very cool to be saying that. His head can turn side to side. You could probably do the full 360, but you don't want to scratch the neck. The arms can do the full 360 round. We have 360 swivel movement at the bicep, up and down at the joint. The hands can move 360 degrees. The waist can also do 360 degrees. Legs go back and forth from the top and at the middle in the joint, and the feet are sculpted to the trousers, so they are not movable. We have one of the first ever companions in Doctor Who. I can't wait to eventually get Susan and Barbara, but for now we have Ian. Now this body has been reused. It's the reuse of the John Sim Master figure. I will be doing a comparison to that after I've gone through the detail. So it's a repainted body of that, but an entirely new head sculpt for Ian. Now the promotion images, I didn't feel did it justice. I was a bit kind of looking at being like, is it looking like William Russell? It wasn't convincing me. However, having the figure in hand, seeing the detail, I think it looks incredible. Really, really great stuff. His eyes very piercing, and they've got some great detail. Not the best face sculpt that a character ever done, but it's a very, very good job, and you can tell it is Ian. Hair's got this nice curve piece going at the top, but it's kind of this black base with kind of white highlights, just suggests Ian is middle-aged. It's great to get all these companions. It's a great format to be reusing old bodies and getting us entirely new head sculpts. So yeah, welcome Ian to the 60s Doctor Who collection. It's great to have a figure to put the first Doctor with. The costume has these like different shades of grey. So the jacket is more black and the trousers are like a light grey. We've got his white shirt with his tie, which is painted blue at the top. We've got red, green and blue stripes going down. Because it's the Johnson Master figure, he does have a ring on each hand. Obviously, Ian and Barbara may have got married, but obviously not at this point with the keys of Marinus. There's a great jacket, great detailing. I'd say the trousers are light grey and the shoes are black. As you see, comparing it to the Masters, obviously you've got John Sim, which is what it is based on. The Anti-Alien one is based on the John Sim Master, but there's more sort of added on stuff with the waistcoat added underneath and different pockets and stuff. So this does use the John Sim Master body, but I thought I'd bring in the Anti-Alien Master just for comparison as well. It's great to have a companion to give the first Doctor. Hopefully one day down the line we will get Susan and Barbara. Maybe some more Ian variants now we've got the head sculpt. So yeah, we'd love to get Susan and Barbara, but for now, the first Doctor and Ian are united in figure form. So now on to the two Vords from this set. So I'll use one of the Vords to go through the articulations. They both are the same. So the head can do the full 360s, no restrictions, and you won't scratch the neck. The arms can do the full 360 round. They go out, there is ball jointed, so you can move outwards. It's 360 the bicep, up and down the joint. The hands can do the full 360, waist can do 360. The legs can go up and down, 360 swivel at the biceps, up and down the joint. And the feet can also do a 360 swivel also. So the main difference between the two Vords are the shapes at the top. So one's got a triangle and one's got a circle with a line going through, a bit like the Teletubbies. There's a few different stuff as you go down the body. This does use a body from previous monsters, which I'll go through in a bit. But yeah, it's an incredible head sculpt, just brilliant. And it's amazing we've got so many different attachments as well. It's great you've got the base of the head is this like matte black, but they've done the eyes glossy. And there's a few bits of that just to kind of bring out the figure as opposed to it being a bit bland. One's got a gold dot at the top of the chest and the other one does not. Great strap on either one, which is a great thing to put the knife accessory, which I'll go through in a minute. One has two silver dots in the crotch area and the other one does not. The hands, the one hand has a clenched fist just so you can put the knife in, and the other one is spaced out, which you can really see at the kind of webbing. Take a look at the back, again great detail. The head sculpt has these great like jaggedy bits at the top. Going to the trousers and the feet, they're basically like scuba diving feet, which are actually used in the show. Obviously, it's quite funny you look back at sort of Doctor Who monsters and you think, oh, that was obviously that everyday product. But it's got a funny idea, you know, but it looks great. As I said, it does come with a knife accessory and they do have a holder with silver dots in the middle of the knife holder. It does place in really easily. I think this is a new sculpt, just a basic silver dagger with a black strip at the top. Now, there's two ways you can put it in. The best way, and probably the way it should be done, is putting the knife through the bottom. If you do it the other way and try and place the knife from the top into the hand, it is difficult. It is a bit flimsy, so I don't think you'll break it, but the sculpt is very, very tight, and it's really hard to get in, so it is going to be a bit like a push and shove to put the knife in. But I would recommend if you want to display the Vord with a knife, it's easier to put the knife in from the bottom of the hand. Look at the side of the head sculpt. You've got this great little dotting, I guess, for the actors to hear outside the massive mask. Take a look at the Vord compared to what the boys are based on. So it's the Axon Man, but also based on Sharish Jack. Again, similar to the Anti-Alien Master, the Sharish Jack figure has kind of added on features. So yeah, the primary base for this is the Axon Man, and it's a great body, but I think the head sculpt really stands out. There's a good body to use, but with the added features of the strap at the middle, the new sculpted hands and feet and head, really make these Vord stand out. And it's great to have some monsters which are not the Daleks and Cybermen. The 60s era of the range is pretty much Daleks and Cybermen, so it's great to have Vord. However, we have more. So, segueing now into the Sensorites set, which features the First Doctor, a Sensorite, and the Sensorite Elder. So, starting off with the First Doctor, take a look at the articulation. So, the head can turn side to side. It can do the full 360 round at the arms, 360 swivel at the biceps, up and down the joint, 360 hand swivel. The waist can also do a 360. The legs can move up and down, 360 swivel at the biceps, back and forth at the joint, and the feet are sculpted to the trousers, so they are not movable. So this First Doctor has kind of been released before, which was based on the Web Planet story. So this does have some slight differences. I do have that, but I've not taken that out the box, that set. So I will be doing a comparison to that. But yes, it's great to have something similar to that and be able to kind of take it out the packaging. So the sculpt we've seen before, sometimes the B&M paint applications aren't like pitch perfect, but they've really translated well compared to the other First Doctor releases. Great sculpt of William Hartnell. So the eyes, got pink around the eyes to make them more defined, got wrinkles at the top of the forehead. His hair is obviously recognisable with an underbase of white with a dark grey, highlighting the different strands. Take a look at his kind of Edwardian outfit. So he's got his blue tie, he's got his monocle painted black with a silver. His waistcoat is white with like grey lining. Jacket's great with all the pockets and buttonholes going down the sides. The trouser is like red burgundy with the striping pattern with dark red. Nice to have a kind of variety of that, because usually just either checkered like grey or just painted grey. It's nice to have some colourful trousers for the First Doctor. His hands, he's got his rings, one on the right and then one on the left hand side, which is more of a circular shaped. And his shoes like a different shades of brown, the base being like this dark brown and the top of them being a light brown. Comparing this to the First Doctor released in the Web Planet, as you can see, there is quite a bit of difference. The trousers are mostly the same, but the waistcoat and tie have the most changes. As you can see, with obviously this version being blue, that being white, and the waistcoat being white on this, with it being brown on the 13 Doctors set release. And then comparing him with all the other different variants of the First Doctor release, obviously you've got the First Doctor from an Earthly Child, which came with the electronic TARDIS, and the rest are basically all the same molds. So from the Sensorites up to the 3 Doctors version. So you can see it's nice to have this consistency, but as you can see, the trousers really stick out. They've all been grey, so it's nice to have some colourful trousers. So it's a great opportunity to get the First Doctor if you missed out on previous releases. They've been quite rare to get. But now to the must-buy for this set, which is the Sensorite. So we've got a standard Sensorite and the Sensorite Elder. So first of all, let's take a look at the articulations. The head on the Sensorite can do the full 360. The Elder can do the full 360, but just be careful, obviously, because you've got the straps going across. It does restrict it slightly, so just be careful. But that's the only difference, really. The arms can do the full 360 round. They go up and back at the ball joint. 360 swivel, up and down the joint. 360 hand swivel. Waist can do 360. Up and down at the top of the leg, 360 swivel in the middle, back and forth at the joint, and the feet can also do a full 360. So again, similar to the Keys of Marinus set, the Vord, this uses the same sculpt. Because it's done an entire new head sculpt, hands and feet, it really does make you not think about that at all unless you point it out. They are both the same head sculpt, the Sensorite and the Sensorite Elder, but there are colour variations with the beard. So the standard Sensorite has more of a brown stained beard, with the Elder being more white, obviously being an older Elder. Obviously the main difference as well is the strap, so you can tell kind of in the ranking that it is an Elder Sensorite. So devices that they use to use a telepaeophone think in the story is sort of glued on this new piece with painted lining to recreate the image of it being like a strap. It's a shame they didn't obviously have proper lining, but the paint does an effective job. The difference with the arms, so the standard Sensorite has black lining, 3 on each side, where the Elder does not. But the overall colour is this really nice light blue, kind of reminiscent of the 60s. Again, you've got standard trousers, but the feet are the most interesting thing. They're kind of circular feet, and they've also added some like grey dirt, that aged effect, which is really nice. But yeah, they look great. They're obviously screen accurate. Probably the best figures now to stand up. Usually it's sometimes difficult to stand the figures on display, but because they've got such a big round feet, they're probably the easiest figures to display as part of your collection. And then to the back, say the head sculpt is amazing. I just want to say that if I've not said it already. You've got the beard slightly going around the back of the ears, which is a nice effect. You've got the neck piece, which I think's painted on, and as you can see, the lining from that telepathic thingamabobby it goes obviously around to the back, and they've also done this like darker blue lining. I don't know whether that probably was a zip in the show. They both come with their silver devices, which they use as weapons, and also to unlock the TARDIS, which I recreated in photo form. But yeah, again, tiny sculpt, got sort of cross in the middle, it's like overall circle, and they've got lining going around the top half. Yeah, really nice to display the Sensorites with these. And finally, a comparison, comparing the Sensorites to the other bodies, obviously adding the Vord in as well. Of course, it's based on the Axel Man and also Sharish Jack. It's a great body which has been used for various different monsters and is very effective. Amazing with these 260s sets to have new monsters which are amazing head sculpts. They've really gone out this year, giving us 60s monsters that are not Daleks and Cybermen. Love me some Daleks and Cybermen. It's just great to have that variation. The 70s has more different monsters. The 80s does have a few different monsters on the collection, but the 60s, apart from the Ice Warriors, was just Daleks and Cybermen. So now we've got the Sensorites and the Vord. So I'm loving this, and also Ian Cheston. So yeah, hopefully going forward, the 60s shelf will have more differentiation. First Doctor hopefully get some more 60s monsters and companions going forward. But yeah, I'm very grateful for what we've got this time round. Now on to the 2 History of the Daleks sets. History of the Daleks 5, which is the Power of the Daleks, and History of the Daleks set 7, which is Death of the Daleks. And the reason why I've done this, Our Duard said, as I said in the beginning of the video, that they didn't want to have 2 60s Daleks on the shelf. They wanted some variation. So they've delayed Evil. So next time, I assume it will be History of the Daleks set 6, which would be Evil of the Daleks, and then History of the Daleks set 8, which I presume will be Planet of the Daleks. I don't think they'll do Frontier in Space, as they only cameoed in that story, and it's the same ones as featured in Death of the Daleks. So I think that's what we'll be getting next time. Could be wrong, but that's my guess. But before we go on to the figures themselves, let's take a look at the packaging. So very similar format to the 3-pack set, just with a kind of smaller, squarer box. It's got the Doctor Who logo and the TARDIS graphic on the left hand side, with the gold logo saying it's a limited edition. What the set is at the bottom left, so obviously History of the Daleks set 5 or 7, collector figure set. The banner this time has what story it's from, so we've got the Power of the Daleks 1966 with Death of the Daleks from 1972. At the bottom right, we've got the character's logo and the 5+. Both figures are displayed in a see-through box. With the right-hand side, the plastic continuing through, so you can see a slight edge of the Dalek with the Doctor Who logo and the TARDIS graphic. But on the left-hand side, it's just the TARDIS faced on. It would be cool maybe if they changed it up and maybe put like a Dalek 3D graphic design on the side. That would be pretty cool. At the bottom of the box, got all the licensed stuff, copyright information, barcodes, the contents of the set. And at the top, Doctor Who logo, History of the Daleks set, which one it is, the character online website, and also saying that it's the Daleks from the classic Doctor Who adventure, so it's very broad. On the back, got Doctor Who logo, TARDIS graphic, what History of the Daleks said it is. It tells us it includes Daleks in a nice little bubble. And we've got promotion images of the 2 Daleks that included in each set retrospectively. And the description gives us a bio of the story, opposite Gnosis, but it also gives us a backstory about the Daleks, which again gives us a great history of not just the story, but also Dalek props. So if you want to read those, feel free to pause and give it a read before I jump into the sets themselves. Before I look at the figures as well, each comes with an exclusive art card specific for the story. So for Power of the Daleks, we've got the inside of the Dalek spaceship. Got the Dalek-shaped doors, very 60s deco. There's a great place you can leave your Daleks so they're kind of skulking about in the shadows. You've got some computer stuff. But I think the standout one has to be the Death of the Daleks art card, which has so much going on. So it's just under the tunnel bridge where the Daleks come out from the time tunnel in the end of part 4 when they face off against Unit. We've got Ogrons, we've got, I think, a machine from Blake 7. I think Alderaan is a Blake 7 fan. And also got the classic time thingy and you just see the Daleks slightly fading in as it's about to arrive and invade the 20th century. But yeah, it's an amazing recreation. This really does stand out as there is a lot going on, and it's great to have this kind of real life location represented. And again, gives us great displays for the Daleks. Again, either obviously the power Daleks, them skulking about in the spaceship, or with the Daleks set where you could have them coming through. Got some Ogrons in the background. It would be nice to get some Ogron figures wander down line, but you can display these figures with some Ogrons in the background. Starting with the History of the Daleks set 5, Power of the Daleks. So we've got 2 standard 60s Daleks, one with the closed-in eye, which is the trend for these History of the Daleks sets, giving us a bit of variety as these Daleks from the 60s can sort of move their eyes in and out. It's a really cool feature that they lost, sadly, in the 70s. But we've also got the Dalek with mutant scoop. This figure was released in the 3.75 inch line with the Dalek mutant sculpted on, but this time they've decided not to do that and just have it normal. But I'll go on to that Dalek in a minute. First of all, let's take a look at the Dalek articulation. So using the Dalek with the closed-in pupil, standard Dalek articulation. The head is the full 360 round. The eye can go up and down. The gun and plunger are ball joints, so they can move in a circular direction or any way you want to move to exterminate or open a door with a Dalek. You've got 3 wheels at the bottom, so you can move your Dalek around in any direction you'd like it to. So this figure was released in the SFX wave, so we've kind of seen this obviously done before numerous times, but the main difference is the eggs cup style headlights, if that's what we call them, the Dalek ears. They replace this kind of like light orange. They kind of got this faded effect, which is quite nice. It's a standard Dalek. I'd say it's a great design, really great popping silver. So you've got really shiny dome and grating section. The base this time, darkish grey. The other 60s ones for the Hartnell one, you'll see in a minute when I compare it, but they're this really very, very light white, and it didn't look quite right, but this is like perfect. This is like, this is what it should have been. But you got the gun, the plunger, the bottom section, which has this very shiny silver with the blue Daleks hemispheres. Interesting as well, actually. So from the side section onwards around the back has been painted the base of it. Behind the gridding is a shiny silver like the dome. So the front section is just the dark grey, and they've sort of continued around sort of having it shiny, which is quite nice, and it does look really, really great. They say it's a lovely piece of design, but it's nice they've added that kind of variation instead of just having it sort of bland grey going all round. And then finally looking at the bottom base, which is this thin skirting, and also kind of these white grey patterns just to kind of make it look like scuffs, like it's been knocked about a bit. It kind of has this authenticity to them. And now taking a look at the Dalek, the Muse Scoop, again, same designers have just gone through, so I'll just talk about the new stuff. So the eye's different, it's fully open, so it's kind of like your standard Dalek. The plunger's been replaced with the Mutant Scoop. So obviously, sadly, it didn't come with a Dalek Mutant accessory. Obviously, it'd probably been a bit too much to cost. However, a lot of people, and also myself, as you can see in the photos now, have used the one released with the Resolution Dalek, and it works really well. Obviously, with the 3.75 inch version of this figure, it was sculpted on, so I think with this is probably the better option, because then you can add whatever you want then. I guess you can make your own if you wanted to. I know some great custom makers out there who are very talented and skilled. It's the same length as the plunger, obviously just the silver tray, which has got this kind of silver lining at the top, and then the bottom and the stuff in the middle that's kind of like gridding. Probably some kitchen appliance they've probably used and stuck on. And it's, again, nice variety. Like, we had the flamethrower Dalek before, so it's nice to have this specific Dalek from this specific story, as it's only used in this story. To have this very unique looking Dalek with the Mutant Scoop. As you can see, these two Daleks go brilliantly with the Power of the Daleks figure from the SFX wave. As you can see, very similar coloured tones. Obviously, these ones are a bit more shinier, And obviously the egg dome lights with these new Daleks are very light, where the SFX version has very sort of orange completely over, no faded effect at all. And comparing Power of the Daleks, the closed eye version, with the Dalek from the Dalek Master Plan, as you can see with the middle section, obviously there's that very, very light grey. It did throw a lot of people off, I remember at the time, but I think they've got it right with this version. Looking at the eye stalk now, usually they paint the closed eye on, but I think they've actually used the Day of the Daleks eye stalk, because it has that little grey dot in the middle, you can see it. I reckon they've probably just used the Day of Daleks version instead of painting on. It might be accurate, it might not. I'm sure people who know that will know. Gives it a bit more definition, which is quite nice. And finally, we have the History of Daleks Set 7, which features a standard drone Dalek and the gold Supreme Dalek. I must say, off the bat, these are beautiful. The shine they've added to these, especially the drone Dalek, the sheen it gives off, it's just magical to look at. Before I get into the figures, let's take a look at the articulation. So I use a standard Dalek because they both have the same articulation as the head. Can do the full 360 round, up and down at the eye stalk. The gun and plunger board jointed, so you can move it in any circular direction you like to. And there are 3 wheels at the bottom, so you can go around exterminating in any direction you want to push it in. Now, I bought 2 of these sets because in the story there are 2 grey Daleks and obviously the 1 gold Supreme. The finish is gorgeous to look at. I think it's more noticeable on the grey Daleks, kind of metallic grey. So I'll start off with that figure. This is the first 70s style Dalek, and this design would stick around basically through to the 80s with a couple differences and variations going forward. So obviously this, we have the black eye with the black people in the middle. The lights are more cornered off with the gridding. So it's got this overall dark metallic grey. The gun has also been painted this colour as well. And also the ball joint for the gun, but the plunger is silver. Again, don't know if that's accurate, but and also, yeah, you got the black hemispheres and the black base. So it's amazing as a sculpt, which was seen way back when one of the first classic releases from Dalek Collector Set 1. But this coat really just makes me like, wow. And I'm very excited to see what they're now going to do for the rest of the range. But comparing it to the Planet of the Daleks SFX drone Dalek and the very first release of this figure, which is from the Genesis of the Daleks from Dalek Collector Set 1, you can really see the difference. This one is here, he's mean, he's ready to play. Makes the other ones more look like toys, like very plasticky. So I'm wondering what they are now going to do going forward. Like, will they give these Daleks slightly different variations? Like, it's going to be interesting going forward. But for this story, yeah, they look brilliant. This Defense Drone Dalek looks amazing. That's all I can say. Now on to the Supreme Dalek, which again was released in another Dalek Collector Set, the second one. They never did a third one. They did the 2. But it's been quite a sought after figure, and it gives people a diversion to get that. But also there is a difference, which I will go through, and it is quite noticeable. And it is screen accurate. So similar to the drone Dalek, this has been painted a shiny gold. Again, used a less finish, but in certain lights it does glimmer. So again, same sculpt, with the gun itself and the ball joint being painted gold. But the plunger and the ball joint for that have been painted silver and black. We've got the black hemispheres and the black base, which has got the gold lining at the top, which is quite nice. They could just paint it all, but yeah, they've left that. And there's no kind of skin marks like the Power Dalek set. But similar to the drone Dalek, just looks dazzling. Really pops. Comparing it to the original release, so obviously as you can see, this time the inner gridding has been painted gold, hasn't been painted black. This new version is a screen accurate one. It is cool to kind of have that gold Dalek with the black lining. I'll probably be displaying that now with the Frontier Space kind of stuff. But this is like the superior version, this new model. It's more shinier, it's more screen accurate, it just has a better finish. And also the base as well, if you look at it from the side, this has got the gold line, and the older version's just been painted black, which they could have done for this version, but it's nice they've gone the extra mile to keep that continuity. And there you have it, that's my mega review. All 4 sets reviewed in one video. The Keys of Marinus set, amazing we've got in Chesterton. The Johnson body does work, and the Chesterton sculpt is much better in hand compared to Pro images. Again, it'd be amazing. Hopefully we'll get Susan Barbara later down the line, but for now it is great to have a companion to place with the First Doctor. The Vord are amazing head sculpts, different variations of black matte and black gloss. The knife accessory is really cool. Amazing to get something that's not a Dalek or Simon from the 60s era. The Sensorites Set, giving us a really colourful version of the First Doctor with 2 Sensorites, giving us the Elder version, the normal version with brilliant accessories. Again, amazing head sculpts. Nice to have differentiation with like the beard colour as well. Fantastic little details. Just again, to have 60s monsters, hopefully it's the start of many. And yeah, the Daleks set, they're just great to look at, the 60s Daleks. They're such a unique piece of design. Shame we didn't get a mutant Dalek to go with it, but that's the thing with the B&M sets. But it's cool to have that variation and have another 60s Dalek with the closing pupil. But I definitely prefer the Dalek set. Just the mean sheen finish of the metallic gold for the Supreme and the metal grey for the drone die. Yeah, it's just probably my favourite set. The 60s monsters are amazing and they're great, but Dalek wise, I think the Dalek set is superior one. Let the speculation begin now. What's going to be in the next range of history Dalek sets for Evil and Planet Daleks? Time will tell. Hope you enjoyed today's mega review. As always, you can always comment, like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Links to all the social media stuff in the description below. Again, have you picked up the sets? What's your favourites? Have you got them all? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm off now to go and rearrange my entire collection to fit these new figures in. I can't wait to see what the 60s era looks like now with the added Vord, Sensorites and the Chesterton. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.